There exists an energy within your body that can literally materialize money without labor, without doing, without struggle. This energy resides in your womb, in your sacred center, in your sexuality. And here's what nobody tells you. When you suppress this energy, you sever yourself from abundance. When you liberate it, money, opportunities, people magnetize to you automatically. This isn't a metaphor. Tantra has known this for 5,000 years. Now science confirms it. Your sexual energy is your creative power. It's the quantum field in concentrated form. It's a magnet that attracts abundance. But you've been taught to suppress it, shame it, control it, or give it away to men, the system, social expectations. The result? You're stuck financially, working more, earning less, giving energy, but receiving nothing in return. Your womb is closed, your sacral center blocked, and your abundance cannot enter. Today, I'll show you how to unblock this energy, how to direct it toward yourself, how to stop giving and start receiving, how to transform sexual power into financial freedom. Warning, this will be uncomfortable. The patriarchy doesn't want you to know this power, because a woman who owns her sexual energy is uncontrollable and unstoppably abundant. Let's begin with an uncomfortable truth. You've been taught that your sexuality is something dirty. Religion, a tool for attracting men. Society, a commodity that needs controlling. Patriarchy. But they never told you that your sexuality is your power, your personal source of abundance. Not for someone else. For you. Why is this hidden? Because a woman who knows her sexual power doesn't need approval, doesn't work for pennies, doesn't give energy for free, doesn't tolerate toxic relationships, doesn't suppress herself for decency. She's a magnet. She's the source. She's abundance in human form. Tantra calls this Shakti, the feminine creative force of the universe. It lives in your womb, in your sacral center, in your sexual energy. When Shakti is free, you create money from void. When Shakti is blocked, you work yourself to exhaustion for crumbs. Historical context. In ancient cultures, feminine sexual power was revered. Tantra, India. Temple priestesses used sexual energy for materialization. Taoism, China. Woman as source of yin, receiving force of the universe. Sacred prostitution, Mesopotamia. Sex with a priestess was considered an act of receiving the goddess's blessing. What changed? Patriarchal religions. They understood a woman owning her sexuality is uncontrollable. Result, 2,000 years of suppression, shame, guilt, disconnection from the source of power. And here's why it works. Now I'll reveal what has been carefully concealed. Stories, practices, secrets that only the initiated knew. Story number 1. Temple priestesses of Babylon. Money through sexuality. In ancient Mesopotamia existed a practice that patriarchal religions erased from history. Temple priestesses of goddess Ishtar. These women weren't prostitutes, as later distorted. They were priestesses, sacred carriers of feminine power. Here's what they did. A man would come to the temple with a problem. Illness, bankruptcy, failure in war. He brought gifts to the temple and gained access to the priestess. But sex with the priestess wasn't what you think. It was a ritual. The priestess would induce a trance state in the man through slow touch, breathing, mantra chanting. She would retain her sexual energy, not discharging. Her task? Fill herself with energy to the brim. In this state, she became a channel for goddess Ishtar, and through her, the solution to the man's problem entered his life. Often the man wouldn't even reach climax. This wasn't about orgasm. This was about power transmission. And you know what's most important? The priestess became incredibly wealthy. Not because she took money for sex, but because her energy materialized abundance. The temple prospered. She prospered. What does this mean for you? When you retain sexual energy and direct it toward your intention, money, for example, you become that same priestess. You're the channel, and abundance flows through you. Story number 2. Russian witches and Yarga, power of the womb. In pre-Christian Rus existed women vedunyas. They were burned later, but before that they were feared and respected. Their secret: Yarga, the fire power of the womb. Vedunius knew the womb isn't just an organ, it's a furnace, an alchemical cauldron where energy transforms. Practice of Yarga. A woman would sit over fire, literally squatting over a bonfire or candle. Heat entered the womb, and she began brewing her desire. For example, desire for abundance. She visualized, in her womb brews a golden drink of abundance. Fire from below heats the cauldron. Contents bubble, transform, materialize. After the ritual, within a week, her desire manifested in the material world. Modern adaptation without fire. First, light a candle. Sit nearby, not over fire, safely. Second, visualize fire inside the womb. Third, this fire brews your intention: money, opportunity, project. Fourth, feel warmth in the womb, 10 to 15 minutes. Fifth, say, "My Yarga, materialize this." Warning: this practice is powerful. Don't use it frivolously. What you brew will materialize. Be certain you want it. Secret number 3: sexual energy, accumulation, or direction. Here's what nobody tells you correctly. There exist 2 paths of working with sexual energy, and both can lead to abundance. But most women are stuck in a third option that blocks everything. Path 1: accumulation, retention without discharge. This is what Taoist mistresses practice. You become aroused, but don't reach climax. Energy accumulates, grows, transforms from sexual into creative, into magnetic. Imagine, every time you retain energy, you charge an internal battery. After a week, you're a power station. You radiate. People are attracted. Opportunities materialize. Path 2: directed discharge. Orgasm with intention. Tantra teaches this. Before intimacy, you set an intention. This energy is for materializing my goal. During arousal, you hold visualization of your desire. At orgasm peak, you direct this entire powerful wave of energy into your intention, like an arrow to target. This isn't draining. This is a shot, directed, conscious, powerful. After such orgasm, you don't feel emptiness. You feel power. Because energy didn't dissipate. It went to the target. Path 3: dead end, unconscious discharge. And here's what happens with most. Sex without awareness, without intention, just physical tension release. It's as if you had a powerful laser capable of burning through any target. But instead of aiming, you just turn it on and shine in all directions. Energy dissipates. Nothing materializes. After such discharge, emptiness, exhaustion. Not necessarily physical, but energetic. You've given your power to nowhere. Result in money, accumulation. You become a magnet. Abundance is attracted to your field. Directed discharge. Specific desire materializes faster. Contract, money, opportunity. Unconscious discharge. Energy leaks. Finances unstable. How to decide? What to choose? Depends on your goal. Want to accumulate general power and magnetism? Practice retention, path 1. Have a specific goal for materialization? Practice directed orgasm, path 2. But never do the third. Unconscious discharge is power loss. Practical technique: orgasm materialization. First, preparation before intimacy. Sit in silence 5 minutes. Define intention. What do I want to materialize? Visualize it clearly. Contract for $20,000. New project, health, whatever. Say, I direct my sexual energy toward materializing goal. Second, during arousal, hold image of your goal in mind. Feel energy building. The stronger the arousal, the stronger the visualization. Third, at orgasm peak, visualization maximally bright. You see your goal already materialized. Entire wave of energy goes into this visualization. Fourth, after, don't fall into void. Remain in the sensation. This already happened. Gratitude for materialization. Test for 30 days. Try one of the paths or alternate. Week 1 to 2. Practice only accumulation, arousal without discharge. Week 3 to 4. If there's a specific goal, practice directed orgasm with intention. Observe what happens with money, opportunities, synchronicities. You'll see the difference, because energy is the currency of the universe, and how you use it determines your material abundance. Secret number 4. Why women became wealthy through non-doing. Here's a paradox that will drive third-wave feminists crazy. The less a woman does, the more she receives. This isn't about laziness. This is about energetics. Masculine energy, yang, active, doing, pushing through. Feminine energy, yin, receiving, magnetic, attracting. When a woman works in yang, doing, she exhausts herself, repels abundance because she sends signal, I must fight, loses magnetism. When a woman is in yin, resting, enjoying, receiving, she charges, attracts abundance. Signal, I'm worthy of receiving, becomes a magnet. Secret number 5. Why women burn out at regular jobs and how to properly have money. Ask yourself, you work 8 to 12 hours daily, pushing through, controlling, extracting money, and yet exhausted, burned out, sick. Why? Because a man has yang energy, action, pushing through, that restores every 24 hours through testosterone. A woman's cycle is 28 days. You don't have daily yang. When you try to work like a man, you work in deficit. Result? Burnout, illness, financial instability. And now, here's what. If you have a partner and you're pushing through everything yourself, providing, earning, what happens to him? He loses his yang because you're already occupying this role. He doesn't need to act. He shifts into yin, sits on the couch, and you're angry. Why isn't he doing anything? Because you're in his energy. 2 healthy paths for women. Path number 1, through her own Tao, purpose. If a woman found her Tao, she acts within its framework and the system feeds her with energy. She doesn't work for money. She pursues her purpose, and money comes as side effect. In this case, she doesn't exhaust herself because energy comes from the system, not from her own reserves. Path number 2, through proper division with partner, if Tao isn't yet found. If a woman has a partner and hasn't yet found her Tao, here's the proper division. Woman equals yin creation, creates the man, inspires, fills him with energy, creates herself, beauty, health, development, creates space, home, atmosphere, prepares food, and through it establishes abundance program for family. Man equals yang action, works, brings money, provides container of safety. This doesn't mean woman does nothing. She creates. This is enormous work, but she doesn't push through in the world for money. What happens if woman goes into yang? She starts working, pushing, extracting money. Result? First, she exhausts herself. No daily yang. Second, man loses his yang. He doesn't need to act. She does everything. Third, he shifts into yin. Passivity. Couch. Fourth, polarity disappears and woman is angry. Why is he on the couch? Because she's in his energy. Conclusion. Woman doesn't need regular job for money. She needs either to find her Tao, then system feeds, or create man, herself, space. Then he provides. When each is in their energy, abundance flows naturally. Critical moment. Ability to receive. Here's the problem of modern woman. Even if she has a man ready to provide, she cannot receive. Why? Because in society for the last 50 years runs a program. I myself, I'll earn myself, I'll manage myself. I owe nobody, I'm independent and strong. This is masculinity program embedded in women. And when a man offers, I'll pay, I'll buy you this, I'll take care, you don't have to work. What happens inside woman? No, I'll do it myself. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be obligated. What will he think of me? I'm not a kept woman, and she pushes away his gifts. She blocks the flow of abundance. Here's what she doesn't understand. When woman receives from man, she doesn't become weak. She activates his yang. Man feels like a man when he can provide for woman. This is his nature. This is what gives him meaning. When woman refuses to receive, she castrates him energetically. She tells him, "I don't need you. I'll manage myself," and his yang dies. He loses drive. He sits on couch. Receiving isn't weakness, it's power. Feminine power is the ability to receive. Not take, receive. Difference. Taking, demanding, controlling. Yang. Receiving, opening up, allowing. Yin. When woman receives, "Thank you, I receive your care. How pleasant that you think of me. I feel protected next to you." Man feels, "I'm needed, I'm important, I'm strong enough for her." And his yang blazes even stronger. He wants to give even more. But to receive, you need to reprogram yourself. Old program, masculine. I myself. I don't need help. I'm independent. Receiving equals being weak. New program, feminine. I'm worthy of receiving. Receiving is my power. I'm open to abundance through man. When I receive, I strengthen him. Reprogramming practice. Every time a man offers something, pay bill, buy gift, help with something, provide for you, your automatic reaction will be, "No, I'll do it myself." Stop this reaction. Take deep breath and say, "Thank you, I receive. This is very pleasant." First times will be uncomfortable, incredibly uncomfortable, because old program will scream, "You're weak, you're dependent." But this is lie. This is voice of patriarchy that fears feminine power. True feminine power is receiving. What happens when woman learns to receive? Week 1 to 2, discomfort, awkwardness, guilt. Week 3, 4, you notice man glows when you receive. He becomes more attentive, more generous. Month 1, 2, he starts offering more because he sees you value his care. Month 3 plus, abundance flows naturally. You no longer fight. You're open, and flow of abundance enters through him. Important to understand, receiving from man doesn't mean becoming passive. You're still creating him, inspiring, filling with energy, creating yourself, beauty, development, creating space, home, atmosphere, establishing abundance program through food. This is enormous work, but it's yin work, not yang. And when you do your part, creation, and he does his part, provision, and you know how to receive his gifts, abundance flows like river, without struggle, without burnout. Another critical moment. Woman must want. Here's what most women do wrong. Man asks, "What do you want?" Woman answers, "Oh, I need nothing. I'm not demanding." She thinks this is good, that she's convenient, not greedy, modest. But here's what she doesn't understand. When woman says, "I need nothing," she narrows abundance channel for man. Here's how this works. In energetic dynamics of couple, woman is responsible for "I want." She expands space of desires. She opens channel of possibilities. She creates vector for his actions. Man is responsible for "I can." He realizes desire. He finds ways. He acts. This isn't accident. This is law. On average, women want more than men. Man may want car, house, status. Woman may want thousands of things. Travel, beautiful home, jewelry, experiences, emotions, beauty, comfort. And this is correct. This is her function. Why must woman want much? When woman wants much, she expands man. Her desire is challenge for his yang. Can you give me this? Are you strong enough? Are you capable of realizing my dreams? And man, hearing her desires, activates his maximum potential. He starts thinking, how can I give her this? Where to get money? What opportunities can I create? Her desires literally pull him toward greater. Without her desires, he has no vector. He doesn't know where to direct energy. He earns enough for himself and stops. What happens when woman says, I need nothing. Man hears, you don't need to try. I'm satisfied with little. Result, his ambitions narrow. Money channel narrows. Opportunities stop coming. Because universe responds to request. If woman doesn't want, there's no request. Channel is closed. This isn't about greed. This is about expansion. Woman who wants much isn't spoiled. This is woman who expands abundance channel for couple. Her desire isn't egoism, it's service. Because when man realizes her desire, he feels capable. He grows. His yang strengthens. He attracts more opportunities and money, and abundance comes not only to her, to both of them. Practice. How to properly want. Step 1. Allow yourself to want. Sit and write list what I want. Don't filter. Don't think whether it's realistic. Just want. Travel to Bali. New designer dress. Massage every week. Fresh flowers in-house constantly. Beautiful house by sea. Spa treatments. Jewelry. Courses that interest you. Write everything. The more, the better. Step 2. Voice desire to man. Don't demand, don't complain. Just share. You know, I dream of going to Bali. I saw such beautiful dress. It would be magical to have massage every week. Not by me, but I want. I dream. Step 3. Trust that he'll find way. Don't control how. That's his part. I can is his responsibility. Your part is wanting. His part is realizing. Step 4. Rejoice and thank when he gives. When he realizes even small part. God, this is so pleasant. Thank you. Your joy is his fuel. He'll want to give even more. What happens when woman starts wanting much? Week 1 to 2. Man in light shock. He's not used to you wanting. Week 3 to 4. He starts thinking how I can give her this. His brain activates. Ideas come. Month 1 to 2. He starts realizing. First small, then more. His confidence grows. Month 3 to 6. Abundance channel expands. Money opportunities come easier because there's request. There's vector. Important. Wanting doesn't mean demanding. Wanting doesn't mean controlling. Wanting is opening channel. You voice desire, and how it realizes, trust him and universe. Example. Wrong. You must buy me this. Why haven't you earned for this yet? Other men give their women, but you don't. Right. I dream of this. How magical it would be to have this. I feel this would bring me so much joy. And then you release trust. Critical clarification. Balance of energy exchange. Stop. Now important moment. There are women who'll say, great, so I can want much, he'll give, and that's it. No, this isn't about that. There are women who want much, ready to receive from man, but not ready to be yin for him. They only want to spend his resource. They don't inspire him, don't fill him with energy, don't create space. Don't support his mission. They just take, consume, demand. This isn't harmonious union. This is parasitism. And you know what happens to such man? He exhausts himself, burns out. His yang weakens because he gives but receives nothing in return. He gives money but receives no inspiration. He provides container, but inside container is emptiness. Sooner or later he either leaves or sits on couch. His yang dies. Here's what this is about. Harmonious union is energy exchange. You give. Creation of him, inspiring, filling with energy. Creation of yourself, beauty, development. For him too, creation of space. Home, coziness, atmosphere. Programming abundance through food, intentions. Support of his mission with faith, energy. He gives. Action in world, work, realization, money, provision of container, protection and safety. This is exchange. This is synergy. Not I take and you give, but I give yin, you give yang. Together, we create abundance. How to understand if union is harmonious? Ask yourself questions. You take from him money, gifts, provision, and what do you give in return? Do you inspire him or criticize? Do you fill him with energy or drain? Do you create space or is there chaos in-house? Do you support his mission or devalue? Do you rejoice at his gifts or take for granted? If you only take without giving yin in return, this is imbalance. Signs of imbalance. Woman consumer, wants much, receives money, but doesn't inspire him. Criticizes constantly. Demands more without rejoicing at what exists. Doesn't create space. Doesn't fill him with energy. Perceives his provision as he must. Result, man exhausts himself. Union collapses. Signs of harmony. Woman in balance. Wants much. Expands channel. Receives. Activates his yang. And gives yin. Inspires him with gaze. Smile. Faith in him. Fills with energy. He feels power next to her. Creates beauty around. Home. Herself. Atmosphere. Rejoices at his gifts. His fuel. Supports his mission energetically. Result? Man flourishes. His yang grows. He wants to give even more. Important formula. Your desires, I want, plus your creation, yin, equals his realization, I can, plus abundance for both. If you remove your creation from formula, formula breaks. Metaphor. Imagine man is well. You can draw water, money, care, provision. But if you only draw without filling well with rain, your energy, inspiration, creation, well will eventually dry up. Harmony is when you draw water, receive, and you fill well with rain. Give yin. Well is always full. Water is enough for everything. Self-check. Ask yourself honestly. If tomorrow he stops giving me money, will I stay with him? If answer is no, you're consumer, not partner. If answer is yes, because I love him, I believe in him, I want to create next to him, you're in balance. Stop. I know what you're thinking now. You're listening to all this and thinking, this all sounds beautiful, but such men don't exist. Or there are few, and they're already taken. All men now on couch, infantile, passive. Where do I find men who'll provide while I create? But here's what you don't understand. This is exactly what you're manifesting in your reality. Your thought? Such men don't exist. Your field is closed to them. Your reality? They don't appear. This isn't because they don't exist. They exist. Of course, there are men who want to provide for woman, men who seek woman in her yin, men ready to realize desires, but you're in different dimensions. Imagine you're on frequency FM 90.5. Frequency, I myself, I need nobody. And these men are on frequency FM 105.0. Frequency, I seek woman I can provide for. You simply don't hear each other. Not because they don't exist, but because you're not on their frequency. Here's how this works. Your old programs created your current reality. Program, I myself. Result, you attract passive men. They don't need to act. You do everything yourself. Program, all men are infantile. Result, you meet only infantile ones. Law of attraction. Program, I need nothing. Result, men don't give. No request, no offer. Program, I'm not worthy of receiving. Result, even if man offers, you push away. These programs manifested men in your field, and until program changes, other men won't appear because they exist in another dimension, on another frequency. Metaphor. Imagine you're in a room with red light. Everything around is red. Red walls, red people, red men. You think everything in world is red. Other colors don't exist, but this is because you're in red light. Your program. Step into different light, new program, and you'll see there are blue, green, golden men. They always were. You just didn't see them. How to change dimension? To attract different man, you need to become different woman. Old program to new program. I myself, arrow, I'm open to support and provision. All men, infantile, arrow, there are men in their yang, and I attract exactly such. I need nothing, arrow, I want much, and this expands abundance. I'm not worthy of receiving, arrow, I'm worthy of everything, and I receive easily. Men don't want to provide, arrow, right. Man wants to provide for woman in her yin. What happens when you change program? Week 1 to 2. You start working with practices from this video. You reprogram yourself. Change frequency. Week 3 to 4. You notice old toxic men start leaving. Or you easily release them because you no longer resonate with them. Month 1 to 2. Emptiness. May seem, see, I told you, they don't exist. No. This is just transition period. Old left, new hasn't arrived yet. Month 2, 3. New men appear, different. You're surprised. Where did they come from? I never met such before. They always were. Now you're on their frequency. Now you see each other. They didn't change. You changed. And your new frequency attracted different reality. Important to understand. Without work on yourself, without changing program, you'll attract same men because you're magnet. And magnet attracts what corresponds to its frequency. Want different man? Become different woman. Not find such man, but become woman he seeks. He seeks woman in yin. Woman who knows how to receive. Woman who wants much and by this expands him. Woman who creates him, herself, space. Woman who believes in him. Become her and he'll appear. Not because miracle will happen, but because you'll change dimension. You'll transition to his frequency. Practice. Summoning right man. If you're now alone or with wrong one, first, describe him. Not appearance, but energy. He's in his yang, acts, realizes, provides. He wants woman in yin to support her creation. He values when woman wants much. This is his drive. He's generous, loves to give. He's on his mission, not on couch. Second, become woman he seeks. Return to your yin. Stop pushing through everything yourself. Learn to receive. Practice on small. Start wanting much. Expand channel. Create yourself space, even without him. Prepare. Third, release control of how and when. Don't seek him actively. This is yang energy. Don't look on every corner. Just become ready and trust he'll come when you're on his frequency. Remove blocking beliefs. Such don't exist implies they exist. And I'm open to meeting. I'm not worthy implies I'm worthy of the best. All are taken implies my man is free and seeking me. What happens? When you truly become woman in yin, you radiate different frequency. Men in yang feel this, even without realizing. They're attracted to you because you're what they seek. This isn't magic. This is resonance. This is physics of energy. Final point. If you think such men don't exist, you're right. In your reality, they don't. But if you're ready to change yourself, change program, change frequency, you'll enter reality where they exist. And you'll be surprised. How did I not see them before? They always were. Now you're on their wave. Conclusion of secret number 7. Yes, woman must want much. Expand channel. Yes, woman must receive. Activate his yang. But woman also must create him, herself. Space. Fill him with energy. Inspire his mission. This isn't about take from man everything you can. This is about harmonious union of two energies. He gives yang, action, money, protection. You give yin, creation, inspiration, energy. Together you create abundance impossible to create separately. This is synergy. This is right union. Now let's return to sexual energy topic and examine each blockage in detail. Because you cannot transform what you don't see. Blockage number 1, shame, the deepest wound. You were taught sexuality is dirty, sinful, dangerous. Where does shame come from? Religious programming. Body is temple of sin. Social judgment. Easy girl or Madonna. Family messages. Close your legs. Don't behave like cultural norms. Feminine sexuality as commodity or threat. Result: your sacral chakra is closed. Energy doesn't flow. Womb is compressed. Abundance cannot enter. How shame manifests? Discomfort in own body. inability to name genitals by their names, sex only in darkness, under blanket, disgust at own secretions, smell, impossibility to experience pleasure without guilt, financial problems. Shame blocks second chakra, blocks money. Blockage number 2, trauma, armor around womb. Even if you don't remember specific trauma, it may be in body. Uncomfortable first experience, boundary violation, even minor, emotional pressure. If you love, you must. Trauma creates armor around womb. Energy cannot flow. Body says, never again. I'm protecting. How trauma manifests. Numbness in pelvic area. I feel nothing. Impossibility to relax during sex. Chronic pelvic pain without medical causes. Dissociation during sex. I'm somewhere far. Chronic money blocks. Closed womb. Closed abundance. Important to understand. You may not remember trauma consciously, but body remembers. Womb remembers. This doesn't mean you're broken. This means body protected you. Now it's time to tell body, thank you for protection. Now I'm safe. You can relax. Truth. Feminine energy is receiving, not giving. Giving from abundance, yes. From joy, yes. But giving from fear, guilt, obligation, this is self-betrayal. Blockage number 4, discharge instead of accumulation, power loss. Orgasm is energy discharge, explosion, release, followed by exhaustion. When you constantly discharge energy through orgasm without intention, you don't accumulate power. You're like battery that discharges every day and never fully charges. Tantra teaches, orgasm is needed, but not as goal. Goal is either to raise energy up through all chakras or direct it into specific intention. In these cases, orgasm isn't drain, but shot to target. Signs of unconscious discharge, feeling of emptiness after orgasm, need for orgasm to relax, financial instability, money comes and immediately goes like energy, inability to retain arousal energy, path. Learn either to retain arousal energy or direct it consciously. This isn't suppression, this is transmutation. Blockage number 5, disconnection from womb, living in head. You live in head, in mind, in control. Thoughts, plans, worry, 24/7. Your womb is forgotten, numb, disconnected. You don't even remember when you last felt it. But womb is your portal of abundance, your intuition, your connection to quantum field. When you're disconnected from it, you're disconnected from your power. Signs of disconnection, inability to feel womb, numbness, excessive control in everything, inability to trust flow, inability to receive help, compliments, money, financial struggle, everything through doing, not through attraction. Reason for disconnection. Patriarchy teaches women to live masculine way, linear, rational, in head. Ignore body, ignore cycles, ignore intuition. Result, disconnection from power source. Now, concrete techniques. I'll give you 2 key practices. Start with first. After week, add second. Practice number 1, return to womb. 10 minutes daily. Goal, restore connection with womb, unfreeze numbness. How to do. First, comfortable position, hands on lower belly, womb area. Second, breathe deeply into womb, not onto it, but inside. Third, each inhale fills womb with golden light. Fourth, ask, womb, what do you want to tell me? Fifth, listen, don't analyze, just be present. What will happen first 5 to 7 days? Nothing. Numbness, this is normal. Days 7 to 14. Sensations appear, emotions may emerge. This is good. After 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start feeling womb constantly. Practice number 3, Shakti dance, hip movement, 15 to 20 minutes. Goal, unblock sacral chakra, release shame. How to do. First, choose music, drums, primal rhythms. Second, move hips, circular movements, figure eights, waves. Let movement come from womb. Allow sounds to emerge, moans, cries, laughter. Dance 15 to 20 minutes until you sweat. What happens? Hip movement, sacral chakra unblocking. Sounds, shame, release. After, energy burst, clarity, desire to create. Warning number 3, fear of your power. When you feel your Shakti, you'll be scared. Because this is might, this is force, this is magnetism, and you're not used to this. You may want to return to safety of small life, to victim role, to powerlessness, because it's familiar. How to pass. Fear is sign you're on right path. Don't contract. Expand further. Repeat, I'm worthy of my power. I'm worthy of abundance. Warning number 4, partner may be frightened. If you have partner, he may start resisting your transformation. Why? Because you're no longer that controlled woman. You're force. And this can frighten. 2 options. First, he transforms with you, studies Tantra, learns to serve your pleasure. Second, he resists and either leaves or you leave. How to pass? Don't suppress yourself for relationship. Invite him into practice if ready. If not, choose yourself. Warning number 5, I'm alone like this. You may feel strange, lonely. Nobody understands. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Truth, most women are cut off from Shakti. But those who awakened it, your tribe, they exist. You'll find them or they'll find you. How to pass. Seek community of women practicing Tantra, online groups, retreats. You're not alone. For those still doubting, here's why these practices work. Science. Oxytocin creates state of receiving and magnetism. Electromagnetic field. Arousal amplifies field that influences reality. Neuroplasticity. Practices rewire brain. Epigenetics. Sexual energy activates creativity genes. Deactivates survival genes. Quantum physics. Observer, your consciousness, collapses wave function into matter. Friends, we've completed an extraordinary journey together. We've unveiled ancient secrets that were deliberately hidden from women for millennia. We've explored practices that temple priestesses used to materialize wealth. We've discovered the energetic principles that govern abundance and the sacred power residing in your womb. We've decoded how sexual energy transforms into creative force and financial magnetism. Now I want to invite you into a powerful collective ritual through the comments section. This isn't just engagement. This is energetic activation. When you write certain words, when you declare certain intentions publicly, you send a signal to the quantum field. You activate the frequency. You open the channel. You claim your power, not just privately, but witnessed by this entire community of awakening women. So here's what I want you to do right now, before you click away from this video. Scroll down to the comments and write one simple declaration. Choose the one that resonates most with your soul in this moment. Write, I activate my Shakti if you're ready to unlock your womb's creative power. Write, I am worthy of receiving if you're releasing the masculine program of doing everything yourself. Write, I open my abundance channel if you're ready to stop blocking money and opportunities. Write, my womb is my portal if you're reclaiming your sacred center as source of manifestation. Write, I choose my feminine power if you're done suppressing your sexuality and magnetic energy. Write, I release shame now if you're ready to liberate yourself from patriarchal conditioning. Write, I attract my divine union if you're calling in the right partnership where both energies thrive. Or write all of them. Declare every activation you're ready for, because here's what happens energetically. When you write these words publicly, you're not just typing letters, you're casting a spell. You're making a cosmic contract. You're telling the universe, I'm ready, and the universe always responds to clear intention. Plus, when hundreds or thousands of women write these declarations in the same space, we create a morphic field, a collective energy vortex that amplifies each individual intention. Your declaration strengthens mine. Mine strengthens yours. We rise together. And one more thing, if you're serious about this path, join our private Telegram channel. That's where I share advanced practices, daily activations, and the deeper esoteric knowledge that can't be posted publicly here. The link is in the description. Your transformation community is waiting for you there. So don't just watch and leave. Participate. Activate. Declare. Write your chosen phrase in the comments right now. Let this be the moment you stop being a passive consumer and become an active creator of your reality. The quantum field is listening. Your Shakti is waiting. Drop your declaration below and let's ignite this collective awakening together. Mysticism. Tantra, 5,000 years. Shakti is creative force of universe in feminine form. Taoism. Woman is source of yin, receiving force. Kabbalah. Shekinah is feminine face of God through which abundance enters world. Alchemy. Sexual energy is primary matter for transmutation. Science and mysticism say one thing. Your sexual energy is your abundance power. So now you know. Your sexual energy isn't something shameful. Not tool for attracting men. Not commodity. This is your power. Your portal of abundance. Your connection to quantum field. Your Shakti. Only one question. Are you ready to unblock it? Save this video. Return to it when difficult. Remember, you're not creating abundance. You already are abundance. In your womb, in your Shakti. You're just removing blocks that prevent it from flowing. Your Shakti awaits you. It was always here. Time to liberate it. If this video resonated, give like. Subscribe to channel for more content about feminine power and consciousness transformation. And remember, every woman who awakens her Shakti changes not only her life, she changes frequency of entire feminine collective. Your transformation is service to all women. Thank you for being with me this time. This was Journey into Forbidden, into your power, into your truth. Now, go and liberate your Shakti. World awaits your abundance.